Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for being here. We're excited to be able to share a really wide range detox today. So this is something we're dubbing the complete detox. So you'll know many people at the beginning of the year they want to start a detox, and so hopefully what we want to do today, what we want to accomplish, is be able to share with you what a true full detox looks like, not just something where you're just drinking lemon juice or cayenne pepper or something like that. Really want to help you know exactly what a complete detox looks like. So many of you are aware of what this is. This is a wellness pyramid, and as we um, as we understand this pyramid, we have to understand how to have a foundation for our health. And the foundation truly of any health patterns that you have or goals that you want to start, it really has to start with how we eat and how we then utilize that food that we eat in our body and fuel ourselves and power ourselves. And so the base today is really going to be covered in this nutrition digestion section. We're going to be talking about how to make sure that we not only eat great foods, but then get the most out of our foods. And that is by making sure that our filters are working and our metabolizers are working. So we're really excited to share this with you. And so let's go ahead and hop on in. Oh, can I move on to? There we go. Okay. So we've talked about this before, but you are exposed to thousands of toxins each day. Um, no matter how clean we eat, no matter how uh, much we try to avoid certain toxins in products that we are, buy or things like that, we're going to be exposed to toxins. And what happens when you do have a toxin enter your system? Um, your body will try to neutralize it. And then, if it can't get rid of it, it's going to end up storing it either in fat throughout your body, in adipose tissue, or it's going to store it in your liver. And um, so, our liver is very important in helping to metabolize and also rid ourselves of toxins. And so, today we're going to talk about how we can actually help ourselves get rid of that. So truly, this is a picture of the liver. And if you look at if you see that red artery right there, um, what happens is that artery is pumping blood from the heart through the body, throughout the whole body. And this blood then goes into the liver and it goes through these veins and it goes through these veins right before it comes back and goes into the heart. So our liver is our main organ that helps protect the heart. It's right next to the heart. It's the last thing that the blood goes through before the blood reaches the heart again. And it is a protector of the heart. It takes on toxic load so that your main pumping organ doesn't get affected or gets affected as little as possible. So the liver can take on a lot of wear and tear throughout your life because it has this protectionary process. But it also helps produce enzymes, which we'll talk a little bit about in a couple more slides. Um, and those enzymes are helping to break down food. So if the liver is overloaded with toxins, it's not going to be able to produce enzymes the way it's supposed to. It's not going to be able to metabolize foods and fats the way that it needs to. And so we want to make sure that our liver is as healthy as possible so that we're getting, again, the most out of our food and able to metabolize everything the way that we need. So let's talk about what a typical detox of most detoxes are only talking about how do we get things situated healthy for the liver. Okay. So when we look at a typical detox, this is a very popular one, the lemon and cayenne detox, if you've heard of doing that. Um, what this does is lemon will act as a neutralizer, as an antioxidant, which that's a great thing. I mean, we want to have antioxidants in your system. And cayenne will help to increase your circulation. So that's also a great thing. But, um, and cayenne can also help release toxins. But unfortunately, it's not helping to bind toxins. And so we're going to talk about a couple of processes that don't happen from this. So you can neutralize, but if it's not bound, what's going to happen is that toxin is just going to continue circulating throughout your body and eventually just end up back in the liver again. So, uh, what we're going to talk to you about is ways to circumvent that and be able to have a great detox. So, when we're talking about having a good, complete detox, we should be able to talk about how we can help the liver, your kidneys, your digestive tract. We want to make sure the bacteria inside your whole digestive system is healthy. And we want to make sure your mucous membranes are healthy and strong. This is a way to help defend ourselves from any type of toxins and illnesses that might come our way. So let me talk a little bit about 4 ways that we can do this. And this is something that I developed, the 4 R's, to make sure that we have a very holistic and complete detox. So, first, we're going to get our system prepared. We're going to work on releasing toxins. We're then going to remove or expel those toxins, and then we're going to replenish the whole system. So let's break this down one by one. So the first thing that we can do is make sure that we have our system ready to uh, release the toxins. So first thing that you want to do is remove the barriers or the load that's being placed on your body, including your liver, including your digestive system, um, so that it can do the work that it's supposed to do. Okay. So first thing you want to do is make sure that you take out processed foods. Okay. So think of anything that comes in a box. Try to not eat as much out of boxes during this cleanse that we're doing. Think about things that are fresh. Try and eat as many fresh options as you can. So fruits and vegetables to your heart's content, but making sure that we're not eating processed food and especially not ultra processed foods. Okay. Another thing that we can do to help get ourselves ready is to stop eating sugars. So, and this, I would include in this wheat and white rice. Um, these are things that convert to sugar extremely quickly. Now, the reason why we want to avoid eating sugars, one, if you eat sugars, it's going to increase the amount of bacterial overgrowth that you end up having, in your large and small intestine. But you're also going to end up having an issue with your liver being taxed to try and package up the sugar and store it when it shouldn't have to worry about that. So you want to avoid eating refined sugars. Wheats sometimes can cause some irritation, and they also are going to be having gluten, which is a starchy material that turns into sugar very quickly. And then your white rices. Again, this is something that converts quickly into a simple sugar. And when that happens, you're going to end up having issues that we already talked about, like overproliferation of the gut. So,
Some options to kind of simplify is to think of the grocery store, and if you stay on the periphery rather than those center aisles, those tend to be where more of the fresh items are. If it's, like butter and eggs in one side, and then you got all of your fresh produce on the other. And then an option as well, if you do like to have some sort of bread, sourdough is really great,
mm,
where it has some probiotics in it, where it helps in the digestion of the food as well.
So we wouldn't recommend having it during particularly during the first part of it. But if you do want to introduce like something like a little sourdough later on in the process, that's okay. So also make sure that we're not doing alcohol. Again, this is going to convert very quickly to sugar, and it's also going to be very hard on your liver during this time. So we're trying to give the liver a break so it can actually get rid of all the toxins that it's had. Okay. Another thing that we want to do to try and take a load off the liver is make sure that we have healthy enzymes circulating throughout your digestive tract. So the liver produces most of our enzymes, not all of our enzymes, but most of our enzymes that help to break down the food that comes into your body. And so if you're not familiar with enzymes, many of you are, but if you're not, an enzyme is a material that helps break down our food into smaller, more digestible pieces for your body to use. So digestive enzymes like Terrazyme are really helpful. In fact, Terrazyme has 10 different whole food enzymes. And this helps you break down, as it says, your proteins, fats, your complex carbohydrates, your sugars, your fiber, and also other foods. So this is something that you would want to take to be able to give your liver a chance to channel its resources towards doing other things other than building your enzymes for a little while. Your body will actually monitor the enzymes that are in your system, and then it'll say, "Okay, liver, we got it, or we see that we've got enough enzymes. You don't have to make enzymes for a bit." So using this on a consistent basis, and we recommend you using this with every meal actually while we're doing this cleanse. Okay? So phase two is we want to be able to release toxins. Okay? So in order for toxins to be released, they have to go from fat soluble to water soluble. And what that means is they're converting into a form that can transport through the blood. And what we need to do, we need to convert them into a certain there's a certain process that they go through, and we're not going to go through that the whole process, but we're going to tell you things that you can use to help your body to convert those toxins into water soluble toxins. And so how we do that, there's a couple of ways. So there's an enzyme called CP450. It's cytochrome P450. And what it does, it actually helps to release these toxins that we've been talking about from the liver and the adipose tissue around your body. And something that's really cool, there's this supplement that doTERRA has called Revitazen. And how we use this is there's a couple things in this. There's multiple things in this, but two of the things that we're going to talk about that help increase CP450 and get it into the right balance so that it can help release the toxins. Rosemary and juniper berry essential oils are both found in Revitazen, and it helps to create optimal situations so that CP450 can actually be in the right amount and right concentrations. So that is something that we can use to actually help get the fat soluble toxins to become water soluble so they are then released and then going through the bloodstream rather than being stored in your fat and in your liver.
And just a quick note on Revitazen, this replaces Zendocrine from
Yep.
last year and actually from all the years past. They recently released this back in September, and it's an improved version of what Zendocrine had. It does also have botanicals within it too, like black cumin, artichoke leaf, and milk thistle. So it's a little bit more robust.
Yep. And we'll talk about those others that she just said, the black cumin and the artichoke and the milk thistle in just a second, and talk about the process that it helps to do. And actually, this would be a great time to actually show. I love doTERRA because they're so innovative. What they've done is again, if you can see this, it's a dual capsule, just like they've done with some of their other supplements. But with this dual capsule, it has the oils, the essential oils on the outside of the capsule, and then the inside. Oops, the inside is the botanicals that Crystal was just talking about. So it has a dual purpose in one helping to release, and then the second half is actually what helps bind it later on. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So now, something that we don't want you to just do supplements. Obviously, you can't live off supplements. During this detox, you need to be eating stuff that can help support the processes that we're going through. So, one thing that is extremely helpful to increase your CP450 activity is eating cruciferous vegetables. So this is kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. These are all great options. Bok choy. Do you know any others that I'm missing?
Okra.
Okra, yeah. Yep. So
Mhm.
all of these are great for helping to increase that CP450. Again, as we increase that activity, that's going to allow the toxin to be released. So, and don't worry if you don't get a screenshot of this. We've actually got this all on a list. We have all the fruits and vegetables that you should be eating during certain times of this detox, during the certain periods of this detox. So you know, okay, during these 10 days, I'm going to be really focusing on these specific vegetables. And you can eat them throughout, but just really if you want to hit them hard during that first part of our detox, that's what you'd want to do. Okay. All right. Now, because we have an expert to talk to us about how to actually activate your liver, Crystal is going to tell us a little bit about how you can use um, different acupuncture points to help increase your liver activity, especially when we're talking about getting the liver cleansed of these toxins.
So I think you guys might remember this point from times past, but what it is just think of with your foot there, and between the first toe, the big toe, and the second toe, you just go basically 2 fingers widths down, and land there. That's where the pointer is, and on the foot, you'll just do gentle massage on that point. And what this will do is it will help support any needs that your liver has. So if it has any stagnation in terms of where it's just stagnant, where it's not, it's kind of sluggish, it will start to activate that and remove some blocks, both physically but also emotionally. So one of the good things too to think on with the detox is to think of, okay, what can I detoxify in terms of emotions as well, and will want to replenish. So when you're doing that, you can actually use one of the oils. So 2 oils that we're going to be kind of focused on with this detox are lemon and revitazine oil. So for example, if you're using your lemon oil, you would just do a drop on that liver point and do that gentle massage, and just focus on nurturing yourself, releasing any emotions that you feel like have been kind of hanging around maybe the past year or just the past little while that you want to release. And then we'll do another point in a little bit that will be more of a nourishing point. But
When would they do this? Like in the morning,
yeah,
evening? When
I like
when
to
when do
do
you like to do this?
acupressure to start and end the day. So starting the day just in your bed, if you just have your lemon oil next to you, or maybe if it's your Revitazine oil, you can have it there and just do that little drop. I'll show you what it would look like. It's just, you know, kind of just tip it on over, and then that little amount, that's what you're going to go ahead and be rubbing in. And again, so when you wake up and then before you go to bed,
How long do they do it? A couple
it's
minutes?
about 30 seconds
Okay,
per foot.
simple.
Yeah,
Cool.
just gentle massage.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now when we talk about toxin release, I like to think kind of about how this would look in a relationship. If you're going through maybe counseling, something that you're trying to work through, um, then there's going to be things that are released that are uncomfortable. And you need to have someone act as a buffer, right? And so the counselor in this situation acts as a buffer, someone who de-escalates, someone who neutralizes. And that's what I want you to think about with what we're going to be doing with the cleanup, okay? So what happens, we've released our toxin, and now we need to look at something that's going to help neutralize these free radicals, which are the toxins that have been released. Okay. So things that we can help to use as a stabilizer are things that are found in VMG. If you're familiar with VMG, this is it's a whole food supplement that is used as we use it as our daily vitamin mineral complex.
That's what it stands for.
Yep,
Vitamins, minerals, and
there you
greens,
go. Yep. Um,
plus more.
Yep. So, but the great thing is, you have B vitamins, folate, vitamin C, calcium. These are all stabilizers that act on these things that have been released, the toxins that have been released. They act as neutralizers so that they're not going to cause damage once they've been released out of the system. Now, this is not a binder, right? This is a neutralizer. We're going to talk about something that will actually bind so that it can be uh, excreted, right? So the toxins can actually get out of the system. But this is something that can be used to neutralize. Oh, go ahead.
And with the B vitamins being pre-methylated, this is also a support to the liver where it doesn't have to work so hard in methylating with it, which just means that your B vitamins can be absorbed and used to help give you energy, which who doesn't want some good stable energy throughout the
True.
day?
True. Yep. All right. Another thing that you can use is lemon essential oil, and Crystal just talked about this. But this can be used to help neutralize the free radicals that are released. Um, so you can actually put right in your water. You can use it in the morning. You can use it at night. But you can put a drop or two. You'll want to make sure you use a glass cup so that you don't release more toxins from your plastic. If you're using plastic, the oil can actually cause breakdown of the plastic, and it can actually cause some issues where you're ingesting that plastic, which is not great for you. So make sure you use a glass cup, but you can put a drop or two of oil, of lemon oil. And again, that's going to give the liver a chance to have a break because you're going to neutralize the free radicals that might be circulating or that will be circulating after they are released from the CP 450 bump. Okay? All right. Then we've released, we've neutralized. Now we want to remove the toxins. And so something that our body uses to help remove toxins is called glutathione. And it's basically like the bouncer. It's the one that helps get the toxins out of your system. And so, things that we can do to help boost our glutathione are what Crystal was talking about. So, black cumin seed, milk thistle, and artichoke leaf, they all increase glutathione availability. So, this is really important because if we don't bind it, then it's not going to be excreted. It's going to stay circulating in your system, and eventually it's going to have to be restored somewhere in your liver or fat tissue. Another thing that we can do is get rid of bacteria, right? Now we're going to move down lower into the GI tract. So we've gone through the liver, which is it helps insert into the upper GI. Now we're going to a little bit lower where we're going into the small and large intestine. And GX Assist is something that we are going to use to help get out all the unwanted bacteria from your stomach, from your gut. So this would include your large and small intestine. But this is going to help bind all that junk and get it out of the system. This is packed with lots of different essential oils, including oregano, and it is very, very potent and is very good at helping to get rid of your unhealthy bacteria that have perhaps overgrown. All right, now let's talk about replenishing time. What do you do to get all filled back up again? I'm going to have Crystal talk about how we are going to prime our digestive tract to be able to replenish.
So this is now the large intestines point. It's the main point there within the large intestines meridian. This is where we bring together that the thumb towards the hand, and from there, it's just basically right between where the web is. So kind of where that crease is, you just go right there, and now you just do gentle pressure. So from there, this is going to be now, again, when we were talking before about the liver, where we wanted to focus our attention on what emotions do we maybe want to detoxify, specifically when it comes to the liver. If there's irritability or anger or these, even resentment, these sorts of things, those are what we can try to work on breathing through, breathing out, exhaling when we're working there. Now, for the large intestines, this is where we want to bring in some nourishing thoughts. So it could simply be acceptance, acceptance for ourselves, acceptance for what we're experiencing. If it's, you know, our emotions, we're just accepting what we feel, or it's self embrace, just a visual, it could be even be. So you'll again just do 30 seconds per part, so just kind of between those thumbs. And for this one, I would say the Revitazine oil would maybe be a better option because it does have a few that are also nourishing, whereas the lemon tends to be more of one that's drawing out. The Revitazine, it does detoxify, but it does help kind of nourish as well. If you don't have the Revitazine oil, then another nourishing oil that you have on hand, like a lavender or something like that, or balance oil, and that's just there on those two thumb points.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk about how we can, after we've stimulated our intestinal points, let's talk about restoring what's happened in those intestines. So we've cleared it out with our GX Assist. We've taken care of all the gunk. We've taken care of all the bacteria. And obviously this is going much more beyond what just a common liver cleanse is, right? This is going into your lower digestive tract. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have the right balance of gut bacteria, and not just gut bacteria. This is for our whole, our complete digestive tract. So that includes the mouth. We were talking about the mucosal membranes earlier, right? So the mouth, this includes the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, um, even the nasal cavity. This probiotic is really great at helping to restore the bacterial balance that's supposed to be in all those. So,
Even urinary bladder and lungs
true.
too for
Yep.
PB restore
Yep.
and
So
support.
it's one that we really, really love. And when you're doing this cleanse, we do 10 days of the PB Restore. Now, that being said, we actually use this every day. If you wanted to use this every day during the cleanse, you're more than welcome to. But specifically, what we're going to do, we want to make sure that we replenish the gut bacteria right after we've used the GX Assist to clean it out. Okay. Now, don't forget the nice thing, well, I should say this first. There is prebiotic already built into the PB Restore, but during this time that we're doing the PB Restore, which is at the towards the end of our cleanse, we want to do prebiotics. We can go heavy on prebiotics. So great things that will help feed the bacteria are things like this: onions, asparagus, garlic, and avocado. There are other things too. I have a list of them, and don't worry, we have a whole huge list of foods that you can eat, excuse me, on a list for you. And it even has all of these things broken down. It has them highlighted based on the time of the month that you should eat them for our cleanse. So it'll be nice and clear, and you'll be able to say, oh, okay, for this this time of the month, I want to specifically make sure I'm integrating these a lot more into my diet. But these are great ways to help feed that gut bacteria, also known as the microbiome, so that the bacteria, the healthy bacteria, can grow and really take root into the wall of your digestive tract. All right, now after we've rooted out things, we need to help also not just so there's bacteria that we're trying to regrow, but there's also intestinal lining that we need to regrow, meaning the cells that form the walls of your intestines. So a lot of people don't know this, but the most active part of your body that is rebuilding, or one of the most active parts that's rebuilding consistently, is in your digestive tract. Within a month, 80% of the cells that are turned over or replenished, uh, or I should say replaced, are in your digestive system, which is crazy to think about. So you're thinking your small intestine, your large intestine, your stomach, 80% of the cells in your whole body that are turned over are in your digestive tract. So it's super important that we feed it things to help proliferate good cellular health. And this is one supplement that we really love called DDR Prime. It has a blend of great oils, and here they are. It's frankincense, orange, lemongrass, thyme, clove, summer savory, aioli. These all help to to enhance your ability of your cells to regenerate. So after we've cleared everything out and we've cleansed everything, we want to give the body a chance to build new healthy cells again, and that's what this really helps do.
This one, along with the PB Restore, is also why we might. So, I should say, if we're dealing with a symptom of something like brain fog, it's actually a really good signal to say it's a good time for detoxifying. Because what those two are going to be doing, well, first, it's the GX Assist is helping to kill off the overgrowth of bad bacteria. Then we're replenishing with the PB Restore to help your microbiome to get healthier. And then the DDR prime, with that now making your cells working optimally again. Remember, our gut is our second brain. So that has a direct effect on now being able to have clear thinking, less of that fog, and again, less of that kind of stagnant, sluggish feeling. So I just wanted to add that in, but we will be going deeper into the different oils and vitamins when we do our actual kickoff for the detox.
Perfect. All right. So now let's look at the complete picture, how this all works together. So I'm going to kind of go break it down by the days of the month, or the sections of the month, so you can know, okay, we've covered a lot, but this is how it actually would work. So first of all, we're going to go days 1 through 30. So things that we will be taking the whole time and using the whole time. And this would be our VMG. So that would be our vitamins, minerals, and greens, right? That would be our Revitazen. That's this supplement right here that we talked about that has the oils and the botanicals on the inside. Yep.
Those oils.
Yep. The lemon oil. That's going to be something that you're going to use a couple times a day in some water to help take down antioxidants. And the Terrazyme. And that's going to be, again, giving your liver a chance to not have to create enzymes. It's giving the liver a break so it can focus on other things. It's giving it the day off in one section,
A
right?
little vacation.
A little vacation from enzyme making. So you would use the Terrazyme. You'd go one capsule with each meal. The VMG, you do one packet a day. I'm sorry, I didn't put the E omegas in here. That's an omega oil, and we're not going to go into depth on that today. But we take omegas every single day.
And that is
Super
a great
important.
just stabilizer.
Yep,
When we're detoxifying, we do want things that are going to keep us just nourished and stable because sometimes it can feel like we're feeling a little bit hungry or just just kind of deprived in some sort of way when we're detoxifying. But when you have those healthy fats present, it's much more smooth.
Yep. And so you do three of those with with breakfast, and then you would do the Revitazen detox blend, and you're going to do one capsule with each meal. Then, as we talked about, the lemon, we will do 1 to 3 drops with water 3 to 5 times a day. And then we're going to eat whole foods. Again, we are going to give you a list of all the different foods. It'll help spur ideas and hopefully give you some good direction on what you can eat through this month. But then we're going to cut out sugars, alcohols, white rice, and wheat. Okay. So we'll take all those out for all 30 days. Now, so that's the large picture. Now let's go the smaller picture. So days 1 through 10, we're trying to again release toxins. So this is why we're going to use the Revitazen detox blend. Now, we already talked about that. We're going to be using that throughout. But something that I want you to remember is increasing your CP 450, which is again, if you remember, it's what helps convert toxins to make them able to travel out of the tissue and into the blood so that they can be um, excreted later. But in order to do that, we need to have the CP 450 in elevated amounts. So we eat cruciferous vegetables. Again, we'll have a list of cruciferous vegetables to give you lots of good ideas. But days 1 through 10, that's what we're going to be really focusing on, as well as the Revitazen actually has other things that are going to help increase the CP 450. Okay. Then we're going to go days 11 through 20. We're going to work on our removal of toxins, and that is going to be this GX Assist. We will just take one of those with a nightly meal. And then specifically during this time, we would like you to avoid eating dairy. If you cut out the dairy, that's wonderful. I love cheese. We eat quite a bit of cheese. We really like cheese, and it's a great source of protein. And actually, it's a lot easier on your system than just drinking milk. But during this time, 11 through 20, days 11 through 20, we ask that you do not do cheese or milk because that's something that will proliferate bacteria in your digestive tract. And then the GX Assist won't have as easy a time breaking it down and getting all that gunk out. So that's why we say 11 through 20, hang off on the cheese or the milk. Then days 21 through 30, again, we're replenishing. So we want you to use PB Restore and DDR Prime during these times specifically. You're going to take one capsule of each daily with a meal, not with every meal, but with one meal, right? And then you're going to be focusing on these vegetables, excuse me, that we talked about before. Things like asparagus, onions, garlic, and avocados. Okay? So that's what it looks like. But what we'd love to, oops, I got jumped ahead here. What we'd love to be able to do is invite you to join us this upcoming month on this cleanse. We have something called the Cleanse Crew. And if you scan this little WhatsApp QR, yeah, with your phone, you can actually get in that crew and we'll give you great not diet ideas, but
Nutrition.
nutritional suggestions. We'll give you recipe ideas, things like that. But if you hop on that, we had a lot of fun last year. We got to be able to share our little ideas about what we were cooking and things like that. Also, we got to tell each other, "Hey, I'm hanging in there. I'm having a rough day, whatever." It's just kind of nice to know you've got people that are doing it with you. But so you can scan that. But also, if you want to put your name and email in the chat box, if you'd like us to send you out the purification or the detox pantry list, right? Which is all the food that they're good food ideas and when you should eat these things, I'd love to be able to send that to you. So if you want to put your name and email in the chat box, and I can get that to you. You'll need to order your products. So the everything that we just talked about, there is a what's that kit called that is in
Cleanse
the,
and restore.
I think it's called, yeah, it is the Cleanse and Restore kit. The Cleanse and Restore kit is the kit that has everything that we just talked about. So, or you can buy those supplements separately too. But we're going to be starting on, I believe it's the
February
second,
1st.
oh, February 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to be starting, that's going to give you 2.5 weeks to be able to get your orders in and everything set. And then I'll also give you opportunity to be able to maybe even start changing some of your eating habits or know what you're going to buy. Um, but yeah, we're starting February 1st, which is a Sunday.
And well, maybe we could even, yeah. So one other thing is that on the 29th, this month, we'll just do a shortened gathering. It might not necessarily need to be a recorded class, but it will be for those of us who are doing the detox together. Just so if you have questions, we can kind of have a live chat, probably just, yeah, like half an hour of going through what are the different time frames, what are we doing, and so you feel clear. We want you to feel like you have a community and that you are really clear on what you're doing, what your shopping list is, and you have your vision, your intention. Another thing in the meantime, while you're waiting for your order to come in with your products, is yeah, you can already start kind of revamping your pantry as well as your fridge. The other thing is doing starting today. You can start tonight doing those acupressure points on the liver points and on the large intestines because we all want to start off the year well. So we're helping our organs and we're helping ourselves emotionally to cleanse and replenish, cleanse and restore, right? With the liver being the cleansing and then the restoring here on the large intestines. Another thing too is that we're going to be doing some emotional gatherings, like emotional support. I don't want to call it support groups exactly, but just so it's called New Year Replenish. And we're going to do the first one is going to be down in South Florida at Jessica's house on January 31st at 10 a.m. So if you're down in that area, come. We'd love to gather and work through just setting an emotional intention for the year, as well as we'll have one here in Orlando, and we'll do these ones in person. So let us know again if you'd like to come to those. You can put that in the chat box, and we'll make sure you get an invite. So those were the main added things.
Awesome. One more thing I wanted to say, we also have the cleanse tracker. So it'll have the what things you will take each day, and you can use that in conjunction with this pantry list to be able to know what I'm supposed to eat and then also what supplements I'm supposed to eat.
That is what we'll especially dive into on the 29th on
Yep.
the on that Thursday.
Yep.
And that you'll get in the WhatsApp group.
So we're gonna stop sharing now.